Welcome back to the Natural Chick Show. I am Rashika, your host, and here to chat with you about some things that I have been noticing that is going on in the world that is, it's almost driving me insane, and I know that these things are probably driving you insane as well. If you don't know who I am one who really doesn't sugarcoat it. I really just say exactly what's on my mind and I'm not really here to hold anybody's hand. And I just like to do this type of show unapologetically. So if you're not one of those people, you may be listening to the wrong show. And also, you just may learn something and we may be speaking the same language. Now, one thing that I saw yesterday is that I watched a video and there was a mother had gone into a school and she had snatched down a flag from over a map. And the teacher was infuriated. Like she was angry, she was pissed. She couldn't believe what the lady was doing. And the lady's point was that, she didn't pay her tax dollars to be teaching her son, about this. And she's trying to teach her son how to be a man and so on and so forth. Now, already some of you have put your hand on that dial to change the station. Well, the reason why I wanted to go live and talk about this today is because we're seeing a lot of parents and a lot of people who are having conversations about what's going on in schools. Now, I taught school for 6 years and I will never go back into education because of the things that I experienced. But I especially wouldn't go back because of some of the things that administrations are allowing. As an educator, I must say, I do not agree and I don't think that everything is for school. However, I do believe that when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to people's children and things that they are learning in terms of personal situations, I believe that these are for home and parents. And not everybody lives with their parents. So that's why I said for home. And how a child is raised or molded or whatever is up to what happens at home. And what I'm seeing a lot recently is grooming of children. And I have to speak up about this because I am a child advocate. And I see a lot of grooming. I see a lot of what could harm a child mentally, emotionally. And by parents not, and teachers and administrators and leaders not really standing up for these children, I believe is detrimental to their health and to their mental health. I also believe that it is time that more folks stand up and just be a voice for children because I really believe that we should provide healthy and safe spaces for students and children. And I don't find it to be a healthy, safe space when guys got to think about it. It is already a lot for children to, understand and learn math, science, social studies, English, walking in a line, raising their hand when called on, asking to go to the restroom. There are a lot of transitions that children go through, going from pre-K to elementary and elementary to, middle and middle. So their cognitive is not there, their intellect is not there. And so, I'm just honestly putting it out there that by adding this load onto a child, I believe can be unhealthy and unsafe. It's really hard just to get dressed in the morning and go to school and start making friends, and try not to be bullied and be on brand, and have the proper lunch. But I cannot imagine today what it is like for children to have to wonder, what am I? Who am I? There back in the day, it used to be, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I also was against that. It should be, who do you want to be? Who is your authentic self when you grow up? Because that's what's going to make the difference in life and as a person and as a human being. And so I really feel for children. And I hope that in the very, very, very near future, that a lot more leaders and parents and educators will stand up for children, because I have read and, watched so many incidents where children are being harmed. And it really saddens me that, where we are as in terms of young ladies, young girls, young children, these young babies, being in fights, and these things happen in terms of molestation in bathrooms. And it's just really sad, because if adults are allowing these things to happen in these schools to children, then where is the future for these children? Where's the future? And it just really, really saddens me that it feels like there's a small group of people who are calling it out and saying that it is wrong. There's a very small group of people who are saying more needs to be done. And we all know it comes from the top, on how much we can do and what we can and cannot say. A lot of that comes from the top. And these schools can make better decisions. They can do better. But I feel like it's all a part of an agenda. And I almost said I don't know why, but I do know why. Because money runs everything. It pushes everything. And secondly, this last little bit that I'm going to be talking about is really going to rub a whole lot of folks the wrong way. And it is about Donald Trump. And this kind of pairs with what I was just talking about. But I've been listening, and no, I don't want anybody to hear this and go, oh my gosh, she's a Donald Trump fan, thumper, da 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 da. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I am a person who I listen, I pay attention, and I go with my own thoughts. And I've been listening and I've been paying attention. Because, I'm not a fan of anybody, by the way, maybe a football team, but I'm not a fan of a president. That's a person, and they're there to do a job. It's not like a sport. So let me just get that out there. But I've been listening to some of the things that he's been saying, and I've been questioning some people about things that he's been saying lately and some things that he said in the past. And the reason why I bring this up is because there are a lot of people who they turn a deaf ear to certain things when it comes to him, and then they listen loud and clear to other things. And as a person with a platform, and I say this all the time to people, if you have a platform and you can use your voice to be positive, do it, because you have a platform and you use your voice to be negative. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't always just latch on to the negative of a person, and, likewise, and vice versa. But I was noticing that he had been saying, and been saying a lot lately, is that basically something is going on in our communities, and it is wrong. We shouldn't be allowing people to tell children that something is wrong with them. If a child, basically cannot go in a store and purchase cigarettes and alcohol, we shouldn't be telling them that it is okay for them to change their bodies. This is all true, whether people want to believe it or not, or want to receive it from the source or not, it is the truth. So we got to stop sitting here and trying to, as someone said yesterday when I was talking about it, they said, you know, please don't start. I don't want to hear anything that he said. And it wasn't that I was saying it in reference to, oh my gosh, I love him so much. It was the fact that it was said. You see what I'm saying? It's the fact that something truthful was said by somebody with a large platform. I heard it, I received it, and I knew it was true. And so I don't disagree with that. For me, it's not really just the source. You know, it's not just the source at this point. It's the fact that we all see it as adults. We all know that when children are in their adolescent stages and they're very young and their bodies are changing and their voices are changing, these children are going through a lot. We've been there. We are adults. We've been there. It's such a weird feeling. We don't know what to think. Things are happening to us, and it's a lot to take on. Even if even if a teacher talked to you about your like puberty and things changing with your body and all of that stuff, it still affects each child differently. So I think it's really bad that when a teacher sees this or notices this in a child, instead of saying, this is a part of life, I'm here if you need to talk, or even maybe this is a conversation that you should have at home with your parent. Instead, they're telling children that something is wrong. And we all know that's not a good feeling. And we all know that nothing is wrong with you when you are changing. When you are changing, it is okay. Though it may feel weird, it is okay. Come on, adults here. As you're getting older and you are going into menopause and postmenopause and all of the premenopause and perimenopause, when you guys are going through this stuff and midlife crisis, it feels strange. It's a transition in life that is strange. I know certain things were changing about me as far as my voice, and I was like, oh my gosh, the voice is changing. What am I going to do about this? And I've always had a deep voice, by the way. But there aren't adults out there telling you, oh gosh, something is wrong. When you got gray hair, no one told you, oh my gosh, something is wrong. When you basically pulled a muscle sneezing, people weren't out here saying something is wrong. You go to get out of bed in the morning and your ankle is swollen and it hurts and nothing is wrong. Life is changing for you naturally. And if we know this as adults, we need to do better and inform children. So friends, I don't care about the source. When we know better, we do better. And as adults, we all need to do better. Please do me a favor and share the Natural Chick Show. There will be more coming. I know it's been a while since I've been on the radio because I've been working and doing 100 things, but we'll talk more on tomorrow.